Hello everyone, and welcome to ET News. I'm Emmanuel Reese.
And I'm DeAndre McFarland. ET News brings you the latest news and information out of Edison Career and Technology High School. Coming up on ET News.
From your closet to ours here at Edison, you too can help those in need, and we'll show you some of those doors decorated for Black History Month. But first, nurse practitioner Tracy Wright joins me in the studio to give us some information about the coronavirus, or COVID-19 as it's called, now that the virus is here in Rochester. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, what are some of the symptoms of the coronavirus?
The symptoms of the coronavirus are similar to sometimes just a mild cold, but most of the time it's similar to the flu or any other flu-like illness. Cough, runny nose, body aches, chills, and fever are the most typical symptoms.
Okay. So, how can we stop some of these symptoms? Like, what are some ways to prevent yourself from getting the coronavirus?
Okay, the best way to prevent yourself from getting the coronavirus or any virus is to wash your hands. It sounds really simple, but just soap and water and washing for 20 seconds before you eat, after you use the bathroom, after coughing or sneezing or blowing your nose. That's the best way to protect yourself from other people's germs and also protect other people from your germs. Masks are not recommended. There are a lot of people going out and trying to buy masks to try to prepare or to try to protect themselves in some way, and those have really not been shown to be an effective strategy for keeping yourself healthy or for keeping other people healthy unless you're given it in the hospital to wear for some reason. The other best thing that you can do is to stay home if you're sick.
Okay, how are some of the reasons that the coronavirus started spreading?
Some of the reasons why it started spreading, well, there's a lot about the coronavirus that is unknown, but we do know that people who are at the highest risk of getting it right now are people who had a travel history. So we do know that it started on the other side of the world in Asia, and now that there have been people traveling back and forth, there's been more spread of the virus that we've seen to other countries.
Okay, so how is it treated? Like, is there any way that you can treat it after you've gotten it?
So there's no cure for it, and there's no vaccine, and there's no specific medicine for it. The treatment for it is the same way that you would deal with the flu or other flu-like illness, in that you drink lots of fluids, you rest at home, you sometimes take Tylenol or ibuprofen to help with the symptoms. Really, we're telling people only to seek care from a healthcare facility for the sickest of the sick. So if you're able to manage your symptoms at home and you're not having significant trouble breathing, you feel like you are able to control your symptoms well enough with Tylenol and Motrin and rest, then we're asking people to stay home. The last thing we want to do is to have all the sick people in the emergency room getting everybody else sick. So best to stay home, and if you do think that you might need to go to the emergency room, it's best to call ahead, call your doctor first, and ask them if they agree that you should go in or what you should do.
How long do you have to be exposed to the virus before you start having symptoms?
So the incubation period there's a little bit of unknown there, but anywhere from 2 to 14 days is thought to be the incubation period, meaning that if you were exposed to somebody with the virus, it would take about 2 to 14 days for symptoms to show up, which is why they're quarantining people who have been exposed to the virus for about 2 weeks.
Okay. So who are the people most at risk for getting really sick from it or even dying from coronavirus? Like, who's at the highest risk for that?
So what we have seen so far in other parts of the world is it tends to be people that are older. Some places are saying people that are older than 65. Some people are saying people older than 50. But young people and babies, small children tend not to be as affected as older people. Some of those people are still getting sick, but they're not getting as sick and they don't have as high a rate of death. The other group of people that always have to be careful anytime there's an outbreak are people who have a compromised immune system. For instance, people that have cancer or autoimmune disease or any other kind of health condition that puts their immune system at risk for some reason.
Okay, thank you, Tracy, for joining us here in the studio.
You're welcome.
Now here's the morning announcements.
Juniors and seniors, prom tickets are now on sale. Tickets are $60. See any junior or senior class advisor to get your 2020 Enchanted Forest prom ticket. You can pick up a permission slip outside of room 2B2.
All seniors who are attending the senior trip to Universal Studios in Florida, please make sure to have completed all payments and medical field trip forms and made your meal selections.
Outdoor track and field begins Monday, March 16th at 3 p.m. in the cafeteria. Please register on Family ID.
The African Apparel Sale continues. Please see Mrs. Felton in room 3C16B or call extension 3131 to place your prepaid order. The last delivery day is Friday the 27th. Men's shirts are $35, men's suits are $45, ladies' shirts are $25, ladies' dresses are $35, ladies' reversible hoodies are $25, ladies' beanie hats and head wraps are $8. Again, see or call Mrs. Felton to place your order.
Our Vision, Our Voice is running a free program for girls 13 to 17 from April 17th through May 29th to learn technology and software to create full-color magazines. Call 585-271-5920 to sign up. And that's all for our morning announcements.
Do you have any clothes that you don't wear anymore, but you can't find it in yourself to throw them out? Then why don't you donate them to the school's clothing closet? Here's Nalasia Scott and Miss McLaughlin with more information on how you can donate and receive some of the clothing if you are in need.
Hi, I'm Nalasia and I'm here with
Mrs. Mack.
and we're here to talk about the clothing closet. So, can you tell me what inspired you or gave you an idea of starting this clothing closet?
Sure. A few years ago, a neighbor of mine, knowing that I'm a teacher, gave me 4 large bins of shampoos, conditioners, and soaps and asked me if I could use them at school. The next day, I brought them into school and I offered it to staff, and within hours, these buckets of hygiene supplies were all gone. So from there, I expanded into making a cabinet of hygiene supplies and realized that students need more. One student asked me for socks, so I went out and bought socks. And then another day, a kid asked me if I had any underwear or hats or gloves. And I decided it was time to take action. And with the support of administrators, I started asking for donations of clothing and shoes and more hygiene supplies for students, and it has exploded from there.
So, can you tell me what type of things are in this closet?
So my hygiene cabinet has toothpaste and toothbrushes, deodorant, soaps, shampoos, pretty much anything that anybody could need. It has, feminine supplies, washcloths, lotions. In my clothing closet, I've got racks of shoes, both all genders. I have some interview attire, dress shirts and suits, jackets. I have a handful of women's dresses. I have so many clothes I don't know what to do with, men's, women's, small, large, all the way up to 3X, jeans, sweatpants. And my biggest get is I have a ton of coats to share, both winter and spring. I do have handfuls of brand new unopened packages of men and women's underwear and socks as well.
How can we donate to the closet?
If anybody's interested in donating, they could either reach out to me in room 3A5 or they can speak to any of the counselors in the building they've been made aware of, and the administrators. They all know how to reach me so we can organize a donation.
How can kids or people in need come and check out the closet?
I would say if anybody has a need for something, again, please come find me. I'm in 3A5, but I do still teach, so the best bet is to go to talk to a counselor or one of their administrators, and they can get a hold of me, and we can arrange a time for them to check out the closet for something they may need.
Thank you.
Also, you can see Mr. Poffler in room 3C7 to ask for help or to receive donations. In celebration of Black History Month, students, faculty, and staff took part in a door design competition. Each door design had a focus on an individual culture or technology related to Pan-African history. The winner was announced earlier this week. Our first winner in room 1C34 is Ms. Frederick Our next winner is Miss Lawson in room 1C25. And right next to them is another winner, Miss Deo in room 1C26. Going up a floor is another winner, Mr. O'Brien in room 2B12. Then, last but certainly not least, in room 3A3 is Mrs. Sickles, and those are our 5 winners. And that does it for this edition of ET News. Check us out every Friday. I'm Emmanuel Reese.
And I'm DeAndre McFarland. Thank you for watching and have a great day.